Good morning.
The Bonneville Salt Flats is a place where dreams come true.
Going down that course, it's the coolest feeling ever.
But you can't do it alone.
United little brother follows big brother, I guess.
There's fathers and daughters,
I'm sweating.
and sisters and brothers.
I just love racing.
I'm not talking to her again.
Some families are well-oiled machines,
139089.
while others are living on the edge.
Turn up the wick and try to bump things to the moon and risk disaster.
But no matter how you roll,
150 miles an hour with your head banging against the roll bar. And
this will be the most unusual family vacation you've ever had.
If we don't get sued, broke, or divorced, or shot dead, it'll be all good.
The Bonneville International Speedway is world famous. But for most of the year, it's just a patch of salt in the middle of the desert. The exception is Speed Week. For 1 week every year, this dried-out lake bed gets overrun by land speed racers. Amateur and professional speed freaks looking to set world records in a wide array of classifications. This year, there's over 500 entries. Bikes, cars, and trucks of all sizes and descriptions. They don't race against each other. They're competing against the clock and looking to make history.
I've been in the car only 3 times.
Allie Youngblood is a little different.
It's the family, and it's the bonding, and it's my dad and seeing him smile. I mean, it's just, that's what it is for me. I'm a mom first, and have 3 amazing kids. The oldest is named CJ, he's 16. My middle one's a girl named Kylie, she's 12. And my youngest is a boy named Kyson, and he's 9.
The 2 younger ones aren't here this week.
They've got other stuff they're doing at home, so it's just my oldest here chauffeuring us around.
She also has her brother, JD, acting as her driving instructor and providing moral support.
Ready to go, guys? We get you pulled up here, okay?
JD is also Allie's competition.
All right, you're looking good.
It's his record of 144 miles an hour she's trying to break.
How fast you gonna go this ride? Okay.
Allie pulls away from the push truck so gradually, the driver can keep pace with her for the first half mile.
On course 2, car 3245. Driver is Allie Youngblood. First time mile 140. Mile 2, 143.879.
How am I do?
143, I think, is what I heard.
Okay, awesome.
Cool.
A great run, but it's not enough to make her the fastest in her family. She's 1 mile an hour short of her brother's mark.
Good run.
That was awesome.
Everyone is impressed with Allie's driving. Everyone, that is, except her 16-year-old son.
There was going 90 next to you,
Was he?
and then he went off. Just gas it.
Yeah, coming from my son, you know, gas it. You go do it. You see how much you gas it.
That's exactly what Allie will have to do if she wants to live up to the nickname her kids gave her. The world's fastest mom. The Hudson Boys Pits is a busy place.
I haven't seen the Mooney box in this
It's
end.
right here.
a sort of controlled chaos.
Got my end, so we're not as organized quite as we should be.
At the center of the storm is Janelle Thompson.
Have you decided whether or not you're using the clutch?
Janelle is the glue, the linchpin, and the straw that stirs the drink all in one.
I'm not going to let you go, and you're going to have to pull.
Her father, Richard,
Since they have hair a little bit going fast.
a retired high school auto shop teacher, is the founding member.
Course number 2 for today.
The team is made up of Richard's former students, old friends, their families, and anyone else who shows up with a wrench in their hand.
There's probably 70 Hudson boys out there. I got shade, I can't see anything.
Come on back.
There isn't a Hudson boy philosophy, it's a group thing.
Done. Okay, now we're ready to go. Maybe.
The Bonneville Speedway is the longest, fastest, and most famous drag strip in the world. It's perfectly flat, 100% natural, and made completely of salt. For 1 week a year, it's open to anyone with a motorcycle or car and a dream of going fast. The Hudson Boys have been doing just that for 44 years.
You guys show up, huh?
Over that time, they've set 86 records using 9 different cars.
4 cars this year?
Yeah.
You guys are nuts.
We've got the full-size Metro,
Yeah.
the Lakester, the full-size production Hudson, and the stupid Baker.
This year, they're aiming for 6 new records. The first car to hit the track is their 1990 Geo Metro. This is the 11th year they've used the tiny car.
You're not gonna write hi Kyle to your brother?
It started as a joke. They were using it as a pit car to get around the flats, and someone suggested they try it out on the track. Since then, they've been constantly rebuilding, reconfiguring, and replacing the engine to enter it in different classes.
Currently it's J-blown gas coupe, which means the production body with an engine swap. We've taken out the Metro 3-cylinder stuff and putting in Suzuki 4-cylinder motorcycle stuff, and then redone the engine for turbocharging.
It's a mid-sized motorcycle engine, 750 cc.
This first class we're running has an 85-mile-an-hour record, so it shouldn't be a challenge if we don't do something, haven't done something stupid.
Even though this is a shakedown run, there's still a lot at stake.
If it goes bad, we'll come back here, change things, and go faster. If it really goes bad, it goes back in the trailer to go home.
Richard and Janelle are the heart and soul of the team, but the thrill of driving is shared by all.
You're gonna wanna favor the left side. Right side's a little bumpy, first half mile.
Arnold Yegan was one of Richard's high school students in the 80s. He's been driving at Bonneville since 2001.
You're strapped into the vehicle and the inside of you just screams and wants out. Then they push you and all your pains go away. I can't feel a thing and everything's just total euphoria.
Richard thinks the car can beat the current record by 60 miles an hour. Arnold has a more humble goal.
I just want to be a good team member and bring it back in one piece.
Hey! How are we?
Very good.
All right, you look comfortable.
I'm all right.
Looks right, feels right.
Yes.
Where are you going?
Down to the 3.
And
Then I'm going to look for to the right is the return road.
The launch goes perfectly.
Record's 85, should do 140 without trying.
140 would be more than double the highway speed limit. The results from the timing tower are less impressive.
Mile 94.168.
Over the record, I'm not unhappy, it's still rolling.
It's a disappointing result, and Arnold knows the reason.
It's because it's too lean.
How lean did it get?
I saw 19.
Holy Jesus. Okay.
When an engine is running too lean, it means there's too much air and not enough gas in the fuel mixture.
Unzip.
That robs the engine of power
Shoulders.
and causes it to overheat.
You weren't running it wide open throttle, though.
I only did till I saw the bad air fuel ratio, and then I backed off.
Okay.
I wasn't going to blow it up.
Okay. No, thanks. I appreciate that.
Richard is a veteran of 4 decades on the Salt. He knows exactly how close they came to disaster.
When you're doing it, most all of us that have done this a long time, well, if I just go a little longer, maybe it'll be okay. Maybe it'll heal itself. Well, it's not gonna, and it's gonna be over for the whole week for everybody. So if you do that, take that selfish moment, you've wrecked it for everybody. He did what he was supposed to do for the team. He forced himself not to keep going, to pull off, save it, let us fix it. The whole year's work, he could have thrown away that first run, and it often is done. A lot of guys are heading home the first day. Boom, oops.
Despite the fuel problem, Arnold did reach 94 miles an hour.
I'm over the record, but somewhat disappointed probably with my speed. I'm not, I prefer, I want a second shot.
He doesn't just want to break the record, he wants to shatter it. Today, Allie Youngblood is a land speed racer at the world-famous Bonneville Speedway. This time last year, she was just a spectator, making her first trip to the Salt.
I came out here to watch my dad, support him, support my brother, and my brother raced and broke a record, and it was just amazing and so fun to be out here. And somebody said something like, "Don't you wish you could do that?" or something, and I thought, well, why can't I? So I just kind of threw it out there to my dad.
12 months later, she's sitting in the driver's seat, taking aim at her brother's world record.
My brother will just do whatever, wherever, anytime, and he'll spin and he'll laugh and he'll keep driving.
Allie must have missed out on the daredevil gene. In her first attempt, she was too gentle on the accelerator and got an earful from her teenage son.
Yeah, gas it. That's the plan this time. Everybody, gas it. So that's what we're going for. When you see the back end go like that, you'll know I must have listened.
But he'll be cheering.
Yeah, he'll be excited. So will my brother. He'll be like, finally, she stopped wussing out.
On course 2, car 3245, running on a 144 record. First mile average, 148. Second mile, 150.828. That qualifies. Take it inbound.
After her run, Allie gets the official confirmation at the timing station. It's a speeding ticket, but instead of a fine, it comes with a world record. Kind of.
Congratulations. Thank you. That's cool. I knew I was up there. I was just hoping I hit that 150. I listened to, even to my 16-year-old son who said gas it. So that's going through my head. Jader's words are going through my head. It's just get on it.
Now she's on the verge of knocking her brother out of the record books.
I just love racing.
I'm not talking to her again.
To make the record official, Allie has to leave her car in the impound yard overnight and make a backup run in the morning. The average of her 2 speeds, if it's fast enough, will be the new world record. Corey Bertelson and his brother Michael have traveled a quarter of the way around the planet to sit in the back of a van.
Muriwai Beach in New Zealand. Yeah, it was a long trip, and the plane load alone is, it's 12 hours.
The rental van is part of their clever plan to get the most out of their week of racing.
I'm a plumber back home, so I'm used to being in the back of a van.
The lineups to race can be quite long, a couple of hours in some cases. So, rather than drive the 4 miles back to the pits, do their engine tuning and then get back in line, as most teams do, these brothers use the van as a mobile garage.
Later, Buck. How are you? See you. Now the old U-Haul again, huh? Yeah. Oh.
It's a system they've been using for 3 years now.
I broke a record 2 years ago with this bike in the modified fuel class. It's a 250cc Honda. This time we're going for the gasoline class.
It's a once-a-year family holiday, something they can't do anywhere else in the world.
Nothing even close to this in New Zealand. I mean, we don't even have a road that's long enough to test on. This is the place to set a record. I mean, you can set records all over the world. There's different places, but this is where it counts.
There's no record set on this run. The news at the timing station isn't good.
I don't know if I want it. It's pretty slow, man.
Well,
It was 104, but that was only third gear.
The bike just wouldn't rev right out, so I had to stay in low gear.
Probably a little bit tall, and then check the plugs. It's probably a little bit rich as well. So back to the drawing board and give it another go.
For Michael and Corey, back to the drawing board means back in the van.
Back to the line, and then we'll work on it there.
The Hudson boys are also having a problem with their fuel mixture.
George, we're screaming lean. We had to back way out of it.
And their head mechanic has gone missing.
And we're in line waiting for you.
It's a problem that's unavoidable when you bring 4 cars and 18 people to a place that's as spread out as Bonneville.
He was supposed to be down there. We sent him down in the Suburban. He was supposed to come back.
There's 4 race courses, ranging from 3 to 8 miles long. Even the pit area stretches almost 5 miles from end to end. At any given time, the person you need most could be a half-hour drive away. When George, the team's timing expert, arrives, he doesn't pull out a set of wrenches. He brings a laptop.
We're modifying our fuel map.
Despite the ramshackle appearance of the Geo Metro, the engine is fully computerized.
I want 12.2 to 1 air-fuel ratio, and right now I'm at 19.
And I think we should be in the ballpark.
Good.
To make this thing run.
After a morning run of just 94 miles an hour, Arnold has high hopes for his next pass.
135 to 140, I think, is totally reasonable.
The gears in the Metro are so tall that it can't start standing still. It has to be pushed up to 25 miles an hour before Arnold can put it into first gear.
Now we're cooking.
That's a little bit. That's a little better. Thanks, George.
My magic computer little flashing thing there wants to work.
Hi.
Hey,
How's it going?
very good.
Very good.
He didn't just break the old record, he destroyed it.
It was an 85-mile-an-hour record. We managed to go 154.191 out the third mile, so that qualifies us.
Just like Allie Youngblood, Arnold has to make a backup run in the morning
You're sweaty.
to prove he can repeat his incredible run.
It is the fastest I've ever been on land, and it was truly, truly fascinating. I enjoyed it. It was great.
Woohoo!
There's more to the Hudson Boys than the Geo Metro. They have 3 other cars racing this week, including a pink and purple Hudson Hornet driven by Steve Kahn.
It's got a regular Hudson flathead engine in it, so I really never run anything out here except something with the Hudson motor.
This is Steve's 6th decade racing on the Salt.
Bonneville started in '48 with like 50 people or something like that. And now this year we had 500 participants or something in that neighborhood. It's just a place where everybody's a friend.
So far the course has been anything but friendly.
We've been running 135 on 139 record and haven't been able to get over the hump. So I'd like to go over 135. So this will be the last run.
Course 2, car 3080, a fabulous Hudson Hornet. Driver is Steve Kahn, running on a 139 record. Mile 1, 126. Mile 2, 135, 975. Not quite good enough, Steve. Not quite there.
That's one record the Hudson Boys won't be getting this week. Early morning in the impound yard. This is the place everyone wants to be during Speed Week.
I'm hanging in there. These back up the record mornings are definitely the worst for nerves and just emotion. And
Backup runs happen first thing every morning at Bonneville. The rules for setting a new world record are very strict. It's not enough just to make a run faster than the old record. You have to prove it wasn't a fluke by doing it again.
I don't think anyone sleeps well, and the mornings are it's worrisome. We're getting to those speeds where you just never know.
To put it bluntly, Allie is trying to drive faster than anyone has ever gone in this class of car in the history of auto racing.
It's mostly excitement, but it's just all those little things that go through your head that can happen that get you a little bit on edge.
Her father, the man who built the Roadster, is taking it all in stride.
This isn't as stressful because we're backing up our own record.
The current record belongs to Allie's brother.
The pressure isn't that great compared to what the pressure would be.
Yeah.
The Youngblood Racing Team is a family affair, top to bottom.
I got my son, I got my daughter, I've got my grandson, my wife come out.
Angry monster.
We build cars and have fun. We work hard and we play hard.
Okay, let's push up.
Allie's last thoughts before she puts the pedal down are of her 3 children.
I know a lot of people say I look sick or I look like something's wrong, but it's just my kids in my head and their well wishes, and drive safe and go fast. That's what they tell me. And my oldest, of course, says gas it. So all those things play in my head.
Non-course 2, car 3245, backing up yesterday's run of just under 151. Mile 1, 141. Mile 2, 148, 923. Old record was 144. That will do it. Allie Youngblood goes into the book.
Yay! 32:45.
Which is the fastest speed to take that?
Did you get it? Yep, we back it up.
The average of her 2 runs is 1:49, 5 miles an hour faster than her brother's mark. That officially erases JD from the record book. But he's already planning the next chapter in the family dynasty.
There you go.
Future record holder right here.
Yeah.
Okay, the car is hooked up. We got ice, we got fuel.
Richard Thompson's racing team, the Hudson Boys, also has designs on a record this morning. Yesterday, Arnold Yagan shattered the existing class record in a Geo Metro, powered by a 750cc motorcycle engine.
But everything seems under control?
True.
Good.
Now he has to prove he can do it again.
I think we're about as ready as we're going to ever be.
Arnold isn't the only Hudson Boys driver going for a record this morning. Don Wilson qualified yesterday in his 308 car, a Lakester. Arnold was one of Richard's high school students back in the 80s. Don was one of Richard's high school classmates 20 years earlier.
We met in high school, drag racing.
He talked me into doing this Bonneville thing in the very first place.
We started out in '68.
And we were racing Hudsons at the time because they were $50 cars and nobody was much interested in them, so that's where the Hudson Boys came from.
Bits and pieces from all the cars they've ever raced, including a 1954 Hudson Flathead 6-cylinder engine, have ended up in the 308 car. Yesterday, Don notched a qualifying speed of 212 miles an hour against a 203 record. Repeating that feat is a lot to ask from a motor that's been kicking around for almost 60 years.
It'd be nice to get it done. This engine hasn't got much left in it, and it has to make one more good run, and then it's done, and then we'll start over something else.
Good luck. Good to you.
Don is even older than the motor, and it's a challenge just to squeeze himself into the tiny cockpit.
Hold it, hold it, hold it. Don't, Don.
His bulky racing suit has caught on the parachute release lever.
You're good. Okay. It's pins all the way in. It's just you cooked it on the way in. Okay.
Whenever something goes wrong, whether it's a minor nuisance or something life-threatening, Richard handles his team the same way he taught his students and raised his daughter.
In any situation, parents type role has to stand back and let the kids succeed and then or fail a little bit before you save them. If you protect them all the time, they never grow up.
First off the line is Don in the Lakester.
Now on course 2, car 308, the Hudson Boys, running against a 203 record. Don Wilson, the driver. Yeah, that's a 1 mile, 175. Mile 194. Mile 3, he's got 209.915. That's the new record, folks. Congrats to Don Wilson and the Hudson.
Did fine. Ran great. Everything is perfect.
209.915.
For Don? Woohoo!
That's the first record of the week for the team. Hopefully, the first of many. Next up, Arnold and the Geo Metro.
One little thing wrong and it's all, the whole year's time's wasted.
For the third time in a day and a half, Janelle pushes the tiny car up to speed.
He's in a little white car, and we're on a big white planet, and you can't see him. You can't hear what gear he's in. The only information I have will come over the CB.
The information she gets is exactly what she was hoping to hear.
Mile 3 speed of 155.770.
You don't have to tell me. I know I smoked that one. I freaking rocked that one.
155. You lit the candle.
I knew it.
You're right.
I smoked that one. You can't do better than that.
I can't.
That was out of the
Are you
park.
daring me?
Woohoo! All right. Yeah.
For Arnold, it's a landmark moment.
All right. I have a record in the record book, and you know, right now I'm the fastest person in the world with 3/4 of a liter with a turbocharger, and that's what I could say. There's nobody faster than me.
Some teams would go pop a bottle of champagne and start celebrating. But the Hudson boys have plans for 3 more records. Corey and Mike Bertelson are brothers from New Zealand.
Plumber. I'm a builder.
They've been riding motorcycles most of their lives.
Early teens for me. Yeah, I was probably at primary school still when I got my first bike.
This week, Corey is doing the riding, while Michael does everything else.
It's the jets, so this is how much fuel you're getting through the carburetor, through the needle where it's sitting. So we're just dropping down a little bit lower because we've seemed to have a little bit more room to move. We've picked it up a bit. We're just leaning it to get it closer to that line before it blows up. But you know, just low enough so it still goes.
The record they're chasing is 140 miles an hour, but after 3 days of constant racing, their best speed is just 137.
We got to get about just on 3 mile now, so we're pretty confident, but it'll be very close to the line.
They've come all the way to Utah to race on the Bonneville Salt Flats, despite having Lake Gardner, a dry lake bed in Australia, right next door.
This is where it counts, you know. Who knows where Lake Gardner is? Everyone knows where Bonneville is.
If you want to set a world record, you come here and do it. I mean, you can do world records everywhere, but if you want to be known for a world record, you do it here.
For the Hudson boys' 3rd record attempt of the week, Steve Byrne, who started the week as Arnold's handler, steps in as the driver. He isn't trying to break Arnold's record. He's entered in a different class, open fuel. They've taken off the turbo, but mixed a little nitrous oxide with his gasoline. It should give him 10 to 20% more power.
With nitrous, you can get 20 miles an hour more, or you can get a pile of parts.
So far, everything has gone smoothly for the team. But Bonneville is full of nasty surprises.
It's gas and fire. What do you expect? Yeah, bad things happen. A lot of people that come out here don't ever see a record, don't ever get within 100 miles an hour of where they're trying to be. It's about dreaming big and taking what you can get and having a good time doing it.
On course 2, it's the Geo Metro from the Hudson boys. Steve Byrne is the driver. It's a 750cc engine running in open fuel. Time at the 3 mile, 1:48.317. Let's take that to impound, see what he can do tomorrow.
It's an incredible speed for a car that was designed with delivering pizzas in mind rather than racing. But there's no time for the team to rest. They've got another car back at the line, ready to make a run.
Keep going, going, going. That's what we're here for. You only get a week to do it, so you might as well make it happen.
My name is Skip Carlson. I'm part of the Hudson Boys, and I'm driving a 54 Studebaker number 1138.
Skip has been working on his engine all week.
I wasn't going to come to Bonneville, and then about 5 weeks before, I kind of got the bug and the salt fever kind of took over. The car hadn't really been run since last year. The Bendix drive on the starter had frozen to the starter shaft and would not engage into the flywheel, so it was pull the starter, WD-40 and the hammer, and made that work.
Now the entire Hudson Boys family is out to see if he can make it down the course.
Yeah, you can go in first.
Go ahead and warm up.
But his mechanical problems continue. Skip is going to try and jump-start the engine by dropping it into gear while being pushed.
Four cars came down, 4 cars have left the line. Let's see how this goes.
He's done.
He's done.
Good.
He killed it.
His clutch didn't work, he said.
The push start failed, sending Skip and the silver Studebaker back to the pits for more repairs.
We're gonna go eat dinner, take a nice long 6 hours sleep, come back, be here at 5:45 in the morning, and do it all again.
Hey, it's 7 o'clock. Congratulations all qualifiers. We're headed to the starting line.
Today, like every other day of Speed Week, starts early for the Hudson boys.
After this run, we get turn up the wick and try to bump things to the moon and risk disaster.
Richard is planning some fun for his daughter in the afternoon. But first, Steve has to back up his record in the Geo Metro.
Next vehicle, car 9932 short.
Steve Burns, the driver. At 2 mile, he's 144. Mile 146.815. That will be the new record. Chase that one, folks.
It's the third record of the week for the Hudson boys, halfway to their initial goal. But there's one other car in the line this morning that has caught Richard's attention.
The Mini, the New Zealanders, they're running on one of my last record of my name on it in the book.
Over the years, Richard Thompson put his name on 17 land speed records.
Next vehicle, car 6400 short.
But he stopped driving 6 years ago, and all but one of them have been broken.
Underway.
The Mini hits 146 miles an hour, beating Richard's speed from 6 years ago and wiping him from the record books forever. Richard may be retired from driving, but his daughter is carrying on the family tradition. And to cap off a very successful Speed Week, he has something very special planned for her.
What can go wrong? Poof. A lot of things.
Allie Youngblood is having a great week of racing.
Going down that course just with nothing around and just the wind and going fast, it's the coolest feeling ever.
She even broke her brother's record.
This is our first world record, and we averaged 144.69, and we went 149. So we upped it 5. So my son and my daughter feels great, especially when you got 2 good kids and a lot of good friends.
The plan now is to retune the car, add some boost to the turbo, and go even faster. But Allie won't be driving. She got a call from home that has put everything in perspective.
My daughter, she goes to Centennial Junior High in Kaysville, Utah, she made the cheerleading squad, and so she's getting emotional. Jeez, holy crap. She's a cheerleader, and she's been at cheer camp all week, and today I'm actually missing a parents thing right now. But later today they've got their big picture thing and some other stuff that she really wants me there for, and I told her I'd be there no matter what, so.
It's an abrupt end to her week of racing.
Like I said, I'm a mom first, and it's the first time I've ever missed any of their stuff, so it's hard.
All that's left are the goodbyes.
Hey, Dad.
Are you leaving, sweetheart? Okay.
I was just crying a minute ago.
Oh, thanks for coming. Thanks for coming. Love you.
Her father and brother decide that if Allie has to leave, they'll all pack it in.
It takes a lot to get here, just to get out here, and the feeling of being out here is worth it, no matter what you go through. Just to see Allie smile, see my dad smiles, it's an incredible experience just to be here.
This is an amazing, once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and we just keep upping it and keep, I don't know, it just, with my dad and brother by my side, I couldn't ask for anything more, actually. And that's what it's really all about, is to see them smile, too, so.
The Youngblood family is headed home, but the Hudson boys still have unfinished business.
Light the candle. It's in the driver's hand. She can blow it to smithereens.
Janelle Thompson is the driving force of the Hudson Boys racing team. She knows more about the cars than most of the mechanics.
What was your AFR?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Not sure what I've got for you.
She sells t-shirts to fans walking by.
Small, even though it says it's a large.
She even takes out the trash. But today is the day Janelle really gets to drive. The Hudson Boys team was started by a pair of teenage boys, but as Richard and Don have grown older, it's become a family affair.
You want to go play with some toys? You know, Grandma's got some toys.
It'll be a few years before Don's grandson gets to drive.
There's a race car like Grandpa has.
But Richard's daughter has already set a dozen records.
Nobody believes you when you go home. They're like, oh, I went 150 miles an hour in a Geo Metro, and they look at you and they think that you're high as a kite.
The Hudson Boys team started the week hoping for 6 records, and they're only halfway there. The pink Hudson Hornet came up short by 3 miles an hour, and the silver Studebaker still won't start.
We've got records in 2 cars, multiple records in 1 car. And we've got time left, we've got pieces left, we've got hopes and dreams still to go.
To make those dreams a reality, they'll have to try something they've never done before.
We've decided that it's the end of the week and we're going to turn things up a little bit.
Arnold ran the Geo Metro with a turbo. Steve used specially mixed racing fuel. Janelle is going to use both. And they're going to add a few extra pounds of boost to the turbo.
My idea of a little bit and Dad's idea of a little bit are not the same thing. And we went with his choice, and it's not my choice.
Janelle is going to drive the car with much more power than any previous driver has.
Go fast or go home now, right?
Right. That's it. Light this thing. Let's do it.
So it'll either go ridiculously fast or explode.
I've blown up before. It's not a lot of fun to do, but the worst case scenario is poof and take it home on a dustpan.
With his daughter behind the wheel of the bomb he's built, Richard takes the honor of driving the push truck.
On course 2, it's Geo Metro from the Hudson Boys. Driver is Janelle Thompson. She's running in J Blown, fuel altered. At the 1 mile, 147. 2 mile, 155, 765. Well done, Janelle.
That's the fastest the Metro has ever gone, and it sends her to impound, giving the team a shot at a 4th record for the week. To everyone's surprise, Skip and the Silver Studebaker are back at the line, ready for one last try. Lots of vehicles use a push truck to get them up to speed, but Skip is using it to jumpstart the engine because his starter is fried.
Car 1138, Studebaker, being driven by Skip Carlson, running on a record of 125. Bit of a ragged start there at the 1 mile, 114. At the 2, 130, 936. That qualifies. Take that old car to impound.
It's an incredible performance, and it means the Hudson Boys team will be making 2 backup runs. It's the final morning of Speed Week. Corey and his brother Mike have just one thing in mind.
139.089.
That's the speed they need for a record. They've been running their bike and themselves into the ground all week. Late yesterday, they finally notched a qualifying run. They have to back it up this morning, or they fly home to New Zealand empty-handed.
Motorcycle, 1602. Running on a 139 record. Rider is Corey Bertelsen. At the 1 mile, 138. At the 2 mile, 141, 754.
141.24 was our average. Yep. So we bumped it a good couple of miles. Yep.
It took until the last day, but they did it.
Congratulations.
Awesome.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, have a safe trip. Safe trip back.
Cool. Thank you very much.
You come halfway around the world to get that little piece of paper there.
It took a long trip and some long days in the back of a van. But right here, right now, they are the fastest in the world. Corey and Mike aren't the only ones up early today.
Good morning.
The Hudson Boys have 2 more records in sight. Janelle in the Metro and Skip in the 1954 Studebaker.
The record currently is 124.933, and I qualified yesterday at 130.936, I believe.
Skip spent his time at impound fixing his starter, so he hopes to leave the line under his own power.
Backup run for Skip Carlson in the 1138 car. Running against the 125 record. At the 1 mile, solid 132. 2 mile, 136, 256. That's another new record for the Hudson Boys.
That means it's Janelle's turn.
I'll start a little slow, right, the first few feet so I don't knock you silly. Or not.
You're not beating me up. Yeah, I don't want to get beat up real bad.
Janelle is running the tiny car right at its limit. She's using racing fuel and a turbocharger cranked up with a dozen extra pounds of pressure. It's classified as blown fuel altered, a high-risk, high-reward approach, something they would only try on this, the last day of Speed Week.
Sometimes our spotter has to remind the drivers to breathe. Because they forget. You get panicked in there, just adds to the chances of cuckoo.
Driver is Janelle Thompson of the Hudson Boys. Running on a 1:29 record. Time of the 1 mile is 1:45. At the 2 mile, 1:50.783. That will get it done by a margin of about 20 miles an hour.
For the third time this week, the amazing Geo Metro sets a world record. It's record number 5 for the week, and number 91 in the history of the Hudson Boys. It's an astounding total for a retired auto shop teacher and his ragtag collection of friends and family.
It's an absolute thrill to succeed at something impossible. In your mind, I can't possibly do that, and they do it. I'm a national record holder. I won. I'm the best ever at something. That's a huge thing in the world. Everybody wants to stand out and be special. Here you're among special people trying hard, doing the same thing you're doing, and you actually can succeed. It's possible to be the best.